Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we're going to be going through a bit of a criticism of VeVe, specifically by Kotaku. We are going to be just kind of breaking down each of their points and kind of just sharing my thoughts and my logic behind each of these points as well. And we are also going to be having a quick look at the price of OMI for today. So without further ado, we'll just go straight into it. Now, BC Trevor, shout out to Trevor. He said, friendship ended with Kotaku. Now Hypebeast is my best friend. So Hypebeast kind of did a article as well, so we will touch on that in a second. But if we just go straight to the Kotaku article. So straight from the get-go, you can kind of see what kind of article this will be. It says $400 Spider-Man NFT looks like a PS2 cutscene. So I won't pay too much attention to that title, but if we just go straight to the first paragraph. Now, it says, by August 2021, it's clear that the entire concept of NFTs is an enormous pump and dump scam. But that's not stopping Disney and Marvel, who over the weekend released the dumbest, funniest piece of Spider-Man trash imaginable, and watch people lining up around the block to pay real money for it. So, first thing, his first statement there, NFTs is a pump and dump. So, yes and no. This concept can be applied to pretty much any asset class. You get pump and dumps with stocks, you get really overvalued penny stocks that are ridiculously volatile. People, they show those for days. So does that mean stocks are also pump and dumps? Same goes to crypto. You get some cryptos that are legitimate, but then you get loads of meme coins. Does that mean all crypto is a pump and dump scam? Just the same as NFTs, there are people minting all sorts of random things and selling on OpenSea, but at the same time you get legitimate licensed products. Those are not pump and dumps. VeVe NFTs are not pump and dumps, although you may find some NFTs that are. So it's kind of a stupid statement to make, to generalize an entire asset class, just because there are some pump and dump scams out there, because you are going to find pump and dump scams in every asset class. You just have to look hard enough. So next he talks about being very careful to use the words NFT and blockchain in their messaging. Disney and Marvel used an NFT platform. Okay, so this, well, let's just say Marvel for now. Marvel used the word NFT and pretty much most articles I've seen. If you just Google Marvel NFT Spider-Man, there are so many articles that come up where they use the word NFT, because they are NFTs, regardless of what some people say. An NFT, all it is just some data backed on a blockchain, and it has a pointer that points to an asset file. As long as it has that, it's an NFT. Okay, so they will say one that specializes in this shit, having sold stuff from DC Comics previously to sell what they called both a digital collectible and a digital statue. In truth, it was neither of those. It was a crude 3D model of Spider-Man that released in 5 different poses. I mean, a digital statue is a 3D model. It's just another name for it. But statue implies it is something that you would collect. And in this case, yes, it is a digital collectible. Therefore, the name statue or digital statue in this case does, it's a valid term for it. And he says, they released it in 5 different poses, the cheap of which is $40, whilst the rest is $400. Yeah, that's fine. That's what it is. The tweet advertising these items really honestly said they were only available while supplies last, and people buying them were seriously told that delivery of the models would take up to 2 hours, and they sold out. Here's what the cheapest one looks like, and I think that's the rare. I think that's the rare one. Yep, same guy. If you're wondering what exactly you can do with these digital, it's pretty much nothing. Okay, so I'm going to address this point. Again, yes and no. As of today, there are other kind of, I guess, AR apps which may or may not be free, where you can do kind of, it's got a similar utility in the sense that you can, take pictures with your AR collectible, and maybe they're animated, whatnot. So in that sense, the utility is similar to what you might find in many free platforms. But what isn't taken into consideration is the utility is going to continue expanding. We have, potential utility coming from the VeVeVerse. But at the same time, the true value really does come from the kind of digital ownership, the smart contracts that allow perpetual royalty to be paid, um, and that kind of certification of ownership of your asset. Yes, you could technically download the app, and that app kind of is on your phone, which you may own the phone, but in this case, we are kind of looking to a new period where we're moving into digital ownership, where you can take that into a metaverse, and then there may be some form of utility which allows you to maybe even earn from that NFT ownership. You can rent it out. You can do things with it. You can I mean, if you have a look at the game Axie Infinity, you can do PvP battles and then win crypto from that. So yeah, at the same time, I wouldn't add too much valuation based on potential utility in the future. I'd say most of the valuation should be based off of what you can do today, but at the same time, we can't entirely ignore what is to come. So I kind of see the point, but it's not a very good point. So the platform hosting them will let you drop them in a virtual gallery, think PlayStation Home. Yeah, okay. Only with even fewer users. And they can also be used as AR objects on your phone for $400. Well, they are selling for considerably more than that. So yes, I guess people who do want to resell it, they can. It does attract these flippers, but at the same time, a lot of people who are into the whole NFT kind of realm, and they're fans of brands, many of them will pay this much. So it's relative. Some people 400 isn't that much. Some people 400 is a lot. But if you kind of compare it to a lot of the NFTs on OpenSea, then you kind of see it's not that crazy. The idea that these are limited is laughable. The idea that this is worth anything, let alone 400, is even funnier. But we live in brainwashed times. So yeah, that wasn't really a valid point, but I mean, the valuation of these. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I do see some really overly speculative valuation, and people's reasoning just does not make sense to me. I was giving a very fair valuation of about 700 gems to the Ultra Rare Spider-Man. People just shut me down saying, "Oh, you're fudding the project. 700 is like you're just trying to fill your own bags." Blah blah blah. I mean, I got a Ultra Rare Spider-Man on the drop. I only really ever collect one of something. That's it. So there was really like no valid reason for me to kind of be fudding the project, I guess you could say, as what I got accused of. I mean, I find it quite destructive to the project when people just give stupidly high valuations to things, because then you get, yes, you might get some people who actually believe that valuation and then they think they're getting a deal. And then you get this ridiculous volatility when you see the price just like come down to what its true value is for that period in time. Do I see the Spider-Man Ultra gaining value? Yes, I do. Do I think it should have been valued at 1.5k from the drop? No, it should not have. If you multiply that by the number of editions, that just gives it a ridiculously stupid market cap. We're valuing it higher than the Golden Moogly, for example. So yeah, I would say don't look at purely eBay and what people are saying it's selling for off market. Wait about a week or 2 weeks after it's been on the market. You should be able to see a stable floor price. I gave it 700 gems as my stable floor price, and I think it's going to hit 700 gems. If anything, I think it might even go a bit lower than that when we get the new drop announced. But this is kind of what I was pushing for, and I think we do need to kind of have realistic expectations of prices. Otherwise we start to see ridiculous volatility when we're seeing expectations of 1.5k coming down to 700. It's just crazy. But yeah, on that point, Trevor did share a Hypebeast article, and I just want to quickly touch on a point here. So this is a lot more positive. They kind of talk about the edition of Spider-Man, and they talk a bit about the upcoming drops. So if we have a look here, it says that in the coming weeks, the two will release a blind box. So by two, they're referring to VeVe and Marvel. Series of Captain America NFTs that highlight Steve Rogers, Bucky Barnes, Red Skull, and more. I think Falcon's in there as well. There's also set to be 5 different NFT versions of Marvel Comics #1. So we're going to have 5 different variant covers of the first ever Marvel comic that was released. So that is going to be pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure which is going to come first. I suspect the blind boxes were going to come first just because they kind of mention it first in all the articles. But we'll find out probably tomorrow. If not, we'll probably find out by Wednesday, you know, what's coming. So that's going to be pretty exciting stuff to see. Now, lastly, just on the price of Omi for today. So I did say we were going to kind of potentially start to come back down to the support. We were actually coming down since yesterday. We didn't touch the support, but we did kind of have a short rebound, and we are having another pullback. But we are hitting, you know, consistent lower highs from here. So I suspect we will, after the next drop, touch this point of support here, and then probably just sit there for a while until, you know, the founder token unlock. From there, I suspect a lot of people will preemptively sell, and we may come back down to this point of support here on the token unlock day. But, you know, I believe it's just going to be a non-event. You know, the founders aren't really going to dump like people you know, predict the same as what happened, you know, the first token unlock. It's just going to be the same cycle, the same thing every time. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to support the content. We have another episode of Millennial Omi this Wednesday, so do tune in for that. We have a special guest joining us as well, and we have that quiz where we will be announcing more details on the Wednesday stream as well. So yeah, exciting times ahead. But yeah, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.